What's going on, everybody? Um, Coming on tonight to have a conversation with you guys about my situation. For those of you who are new to what is happening to me, and to those of you who may be familiar, um, this is a fairly new channel. I just opened it up yesterday, but I know that it will be attacked and it will be shadow banned. It will not be my only attempt, but at this particular point, I'm having a difficult time getting my content out because of the crime that's being committed against me. But I did want to come on really fast and try to explain to those, like I just said, who may be new and to those who may be in the position to help what I'm going through and what I need as far as help is concerned. Um, First thing I want to say is that I'm currently living in Arizona. I've lived here for about a year now. And a part of me would say um, the crime that's being committed against me is pretty heavy out here, but it's heavy everywhere because um, of the people who are behind the crime that's taking place toward me. So I deal with this, and I have dealt with this in three different states. So I'm going to just give you my synopsis. So I am I'm a divine feminine. I am indigenous to this planet, to this world, to this land, to this civilization. And I have come into an understanding of what this realm is and a lot of things that pertaining to the system, how it works. Um, so I've become a threat in that respect. And that's the only thing that I can come up with because prior to this happening to me, I I went to college for psychology. Um, this began happening to me before I could actually, get into my field. So I never really got the chance to do that. I was working for Walmart, just, a regular person. I was very religious, very spiritual. I took my worship there very seriously, so I didn't participate in a lot of things that would be considered worldly or sinful according to the doctrination. Um, I was very mindful of who my surroundings were, who my friends were, people that I associated with. So, didn't have very many friends. Very meticulous about who I was vulnerable with, and who I allowed to be in my circle. The first time that I um, was sexually assaulted was in 2011. I was drugged, and I was sexually assaulted in my apartment. I'd never had sexual intercourse, so I wasn't 100% sure what the sensation would be or what the feeling would be. So I went through the motions for a little while trying to figure out, what had happened to me because if you're familiar with gang stalking and this Stasi program, it's more psychological than anything. So they play the mind games with you with, coming into your apartment without breaking in, making sure that everything is in the same place that it was, except for maybe a few items just to make to play with your mind. Um, so I dealt with that, trying to figure out, was I going crazy? Did I have some sort of disorder? So I made quite a few trips to the hospital and to the doctor's office trying to see, what was wrong with me. Um, I ended up started getting information about what was happening to me and how it was happening to me. And I began combating that. And of course, it was just me. At the time when it began, I had no idea how big it was, how many people were involved, people that were my family, people that I thought were my friends, my coworkers, everybody. I was definitely in a situation that was similar to Kaninka Jenkins. I was in the lion's den, still am. The nature of the crime that I'm dealing with is very similar to trafficking, and I'm going to liken it to that because of the way that it behaves. Um, I'm typically drugged and sexually assaulted wherever I am, where I fall asleep. Um, I'm also harassed in the other traditional manners, um, gaslit, slandered, um, have difficulty working, difficulty keeping a job. I'm currently homeless because of this. I've had everything stolen from me, including my car. Um, I just recently had a backpack stolen from me about 3 weeks ago, where all of my money, my credentials, my driver's license, my birth certificates, um, any type of ID that I carry, a couple of credit cards were in that bag, and my paycheck, which was the total amount of $700. I had some clothing in it as well, a couple of weapons, and some other miscellaneous items. So that was stolen from me, and it's just been on that level for the last 10, 11 years. I kind of give myself somewhat leeway when I say 10 or 11 years because there was a couple of times in 2011 and 12 where the assault stopped. So I usually just add that together and I come up with either 10 years, including this year be 11. But if I were just counting the fact that I've been, how many years I've had to deal with rape, I would say it's 12 years. Um, I also say that it's trafficking because I know that there are certain people who working in the pimp department who monitor me, who watch me, who surveil me. A lot of times they use the same guy. A lot of times they use different people, but mostly they use the same guy or the same guys to monitor me and to surveil me. And I pretty much picked up on the fact that it was similar to trafficking, where I was being sold, and there are members of this coven, Freemason brotherhood that's committing this crime and that's running this organization that's following me and that's surveilling and monitoring me. And for those of you who are educated, you understand that our police officers, firefighters, and most of our white collar and blue collar workers that work in law enforcement are all in Freemasonry. They are all a part of the lodge. So I was able to pick up on that understanding fairly early. So what I've been dealing with here recently is they're using different methods at this point to try to have access to me. Um, Now that I've been trying to fight, where I eat, what I drink, become a lot more knowledgeable about how they've been getting this sedative into my body. So now they've been using a street sweeper. And for those of you who don't know what a street sweeper is, it's just simply what they use to, clean a parking lot from this debris, the trash, If there's a lot of dust, leaves, dirt, they'll use a street sweeper to clean it out. Well, they began using the street sweeper for this method of gassing me back in 2000, and I want to say 18 is the first time I began experiencing that. But since I've been up here, they've been using it like gangbusters. Like they will follow me in the street sweeper, and then they will just begin to gas that whole area where I'm sitting, or they will try to gas the area where they feel like I'm going to be walking through. And it is indeed a sedative because it does start to make me lethargic, tired, heavy. Um, and like I said, I've been going through this for a while, and I know how they operate. So because I've been combating um, and limiting, my falling asleep places and eating things and eating at places where I know they've tried to put things in my food, they have resorted to using a street sweeper, something that they have out in the public, something that they can actually just, produce a gas to reach long ranges and to get the job done, you know. Um, I'm operating in this alone. I don't have anybody that hangs around long enough to get anything resolved, anything started. They've got my devices hacked, my phone. They've got my family participating in this. Um, I am utterly 100% alone. And every night, these people become more and more bolder, chasing me around. Now, I'm not afraid. The problem is that they don't fight fair. They're waiting for me to fall asleep or trying to actually sedate me so they can rape and violate me.